Welcome back, and welcome to our next guest, DeeDee Garcia Blase. She's a strong woman inside and out. She founded the largest Hispanic Republican group, Somos Republicanos, which then turned into Somos Independientes when she left her Republican affiliation. And now she is the founder of the Tequila Party, which is a movement to counteract the Tea Party. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me, Bill.
And so tell us about the Tequila Party. What is this? It's not about liquor, it's about politics.
The Tequila Party was birthed out of Arizona to counter the Tea Party. As you know, we have Arpaio, we had the anti-immigrant laws there.
In Arizona.
Right, and it was our fight to fight back, movement-wise, and to get Raza motivated to vote.
And it still exists? Like anyone can join the Tequila Party?
Right, but we've evolved to Somos Independents.
Okay.
Because we want everybody, but it is led by independent registered voters.
And by women, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's all
Correct.
women.
So I understand that you switched political parties. You were a Republican. What made you switch? I mean, was there something that happened that kind of clicked that said, this isn't the party for me anymore?
The anti-immigrant issue, the laws that were being promoted by Republicans, the large government ideas by Marco Rubio, Republicans are supposed to be for smaller government, the pro-life hypocrisy that I saw, they were calling immigrant babies anchor babies. Yeah. I mean, how do you dehumanize a baby? Right. And that's supposed to be the Republican Party? I had to leave it.
And the Republican Party won this election. They totally won. So break it down as far as how you think that happened when we had all of these Latinos who were so empowered and they came out in numbers, and yet Hillary still lost.
I think Hillary lost in large part because of the Electoral College voting.
Right.
How does that work?
Well, basically, every state is assigned a certain number of electors based on population. Hillary didn't lose, in my view. She won the popular vote by almost 2 million. Wow. So people who think that she lost, they're delusional, in my view. Another reason why I think Donald Trump won, Bell, is because now we're finding out from the NSA, the National Security Agency, where they have confirmations that Russia has interfered with the United States election process.
Well, that was the rumor, but are you saying that that is now even more confirmed?
Before I came here, 2 hours before, the NSA chief is on the record for stating that Russia did in fact interfere with the election process.
So do you think he will be impeached? I mean, is that an impeachable thing?
I don't know. I think that Donald Trump has been extremely chummy with Vladimir Putin. I think they're going to probably find some shady things going on, and I hope that we have congressional hearings to do a full investigation.
You're really well researched on politics and trends, voting trends, etc. One of the alarming things that I found is that they were expecting all of the Latinos to go out and vote for Hillary Clinton because we tend to vote Democrat. But a lot of these polls were saying that a third of Latino voters actually voted for Donald Trump. Do you think that's true? Is that the case? And if so, why did so many vote for Donald Trump?
That's inaccurate data. The Washington Post just came out with a new story sort of embracing Latino Decisions. Latino Decisions is...
And that's the group, the polling group.
The polling group. And what they do is they micro-target our communities in high Hispanic populated states. And what's different about Latino Decisions that is different than Anglo polling is that they have Spanish speakers because 30% of the Latino voter speak Spanish, and they're more comfortable with that. So that's inaccurate. 30% did not. Now, almost half of the Cuban population in Florida did vote for Donald Trump, but if you take a look at the state of Texas, you'll find that 86% voted for Hillary, which in my view, the Democratic Party needs to hone in on the Southwest and own it, and not rely too much on the state of Florida.
I think because the reason why most Latinos in Florida voted for Trump is because the election isn't just based off immigration. There's other things going on in our country that should be focused on, as well as not just immigration, where like most Latinos are worried about immigration and, you know, papers and stuff like that. Like there's other things that should be worked on in this country as a citizen.
In the South, jobs were the big factor.
But going back to your point, you know, obviously for Mexicans and people that cross the border and migrate, immigration is an issue. But for Cubans who've gotten some sort of asylum, it's not. However,
that's why it was the percentage that it was.
But I vaguely remember reading something that Donald Trump is going to stop Cuban immigration to the United States.
Cuban amnesty.
Well,
Cuban amnesty.
I mean,
so
honestly,
maybe
as a
it's something
Cuban
they should have paid attention
born in Cuba, I don't see anything wrong with that, because at the end of the day, like, I don't know, it's not about being Cuban or being Mexican or being anything. I think that when you come to this country, like, welfare and all this stuff is taken out of a citizen's taxes. And even whether you're Cuban, even Cubans need to come here and get a job and work hard, you know? Like, I understand everybody needs a little help and stuff, but
you know, there is a difference between Cubans coming and Mexicans.
Yeah,
coming.
we have
total
kind of-
difference.
yeah.
And I feel that sometimes the Cubans they can't even relate, because they were said, here, you can come. They were given a pass.
But I was just saying off what she's saying, that he might stop the Cuban immigration. That's fine, you know, because even as a Cuban, you need to come here and work just like a Mexican comes here and fights for it. You know,
should
it's
be
just
equal.
being fair, right?
It should be equal.
So it's not about like being Cuban or being Mexican. It's just, if he stops the immigration from Cuba, I'm not saying, you know, it's okay, but I mean, it's only fair.
Yeah, but okay, we're all, I mean, I know I was upset because I was a Hillary supporter, but let's move on. We have who we have.
Right, we gotta
I don't
deal
know
with
about, you know, like, how are we going to deal with it? Going from here forward.
And what
how are
could
gonna
we
deal with
do to feel empowered? Because I kind of feel like someone up there made a decision, and we need to feel like if that's not the decision we wanted to, we can still do something
What
about
can we do?
feeling empowered, right?
From your point of view, that
Right.
you're so much more involved in politics, and that there's movements. I mean, there's that woman march on January 21st, on
Million
Inauguration
Woman
Day.
March, right.
Well, it doesn't say million, because we
Woman
expect
Million
more.
March.
We expect more than a million, I think. Because I saw it. I didn't see million.
Oh.
I don't know if that said million.
Used
but
to be, but they changed
They
it.
changed it, right? Because I think there's going to be more than a million.
That would be nice.
But I would like to do that if I could get myself to Washington. But there's other things that people are doing that you know of.
Start by going to change.org and sign the petition for the electors to support the popular vote. Hillary Clinton has won the popular vote. Second thing is to contact our lawmakers and have them, you know, continue to conduct an investigation on how Russia has hacked into the Democratic National Committee. The NSA chief just came forward today saying that, yes, they have confirmation that the Russians hacked into the system. The third thing is to galvanize ourselves with the minority groups, women, LGBT, Muslims, blacks, browns, you name it, broaden our coalition. Another thing we should think about, possibly if we can pull it off, and Dolores Huerta would be instrumental, is sort of using the film Day Without a Mexican as an inspiration, and to try to conduct this boycott, if you're working at the airports, the restaurants, the hotels.
That's already been put out there on Facebook.
Right.
So we got to jump on that.
So
if we're not here tomorrow, then that's why.
we can empower ourselves. We can do this,
Okay.
and we don't quit.
Okay.
Thank
Well,
you
thank you
so
so
much.
much. So, if you want to catch up on your politics, make sure you check out DeeDee on Facebook, DeeDee.Blase. And now, our next guest has a very important message for you. Don't put off your diet until January. Start thinking smart now so that you won't gain all those pounds. And if you do, he's going to give you some exercises. So stay tuned for our next guest, Abe Cruz.